You know what I mean? It's you can say that they likely cheated. That is a take that you can have at this time. You cannot currently say that they definitely cheated. It was a guy and a Valkyrie. Yeah, but it was only one Valkyrie. It's not like all 4 Valkyries are foil. That's the biggest thing. If all 4 Valkyries are foil, then yes. It's like so sus. It's so crazy sus. It's literally only one of the 4 copies. Right? It's literally only one card in the deck that is like a good, like, that you would want a company upkeep into. And maybe it is marked. Maybe it is a marked card, and that's why it happened, but to me, it's, I don't know. It's like, honestly, like, what's very scary is online on Twitter and Twitch, anytime there is any ban accusation, no matter how much evidence there is, there are people going, oh yeah, 100% they cheated, without it being 100%. And it just, it just kind of sucks, honestly. Because if this person is innocent and they love Magic and they did all this prep for this RC, it just really sucks that everybody is saying they are 100% a cheater when they're not. You know what I mean? You don't get DQ'd for maybe cheating. Well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Wizards will issue a statement banning this player and giving more evidence if they feel like this player was cheating. You don't just get DQ'd from an RC, you get a ban if you're cheating. So at that point, then we can say, I was right all along. I knew it, they were cheating. You know what I mean? But we're not at that point yet. We're like literally not at that point. Yeah, they will get suspended or banned if that is the case. And then at that point, you get to go, ha, Spike, we're right. But we're not there yet, so we just don't have to have that opinion. That's not 100% true. People get DQ'd for non-conclusive stuff quite frequently. I don't know. I feel like in this case, it seems very unlikely that they would not get a ban or suspension if they felt like they could conclusively prove they were cheating. And I know this is, but again, it's also like, a lot of y'all weren't there. This tournament, people were there, and they started getting there at like 8 or 9 a.m. And this player, I believe, was playing this round at like 11 p.m. and had been there for like, in a super high stress situation after traveling in a crowded convention center without enough food and water for 12 hours. They are definitely capable of making like an illogical play. Like that is something that makes sense to me. And that's something that, like, you know, basically nobody else is saying, you know. Yeah, nearly midnight. I like literally every single person there is like incredibly exhausted. But here's another thing that I would hope would be a moment of introspection for the players that are you know doing, you know, saying that they 100% cheated. Like, look into your heart and realize that you want them to be cheating because it's exciting for them to be cheating and it's drama. Like that is like the messed up, really screwed up part of this is that that most players in these moments actively want the reality to be that people are cheating because it's drama. It's like, I think that part is absolutely true here. Yeah, Omega Stunlock for sure. I don't know. I don't know. I feel somewhat strongly, so don't mind getting a little Stunlocked. Okay, we can move on. Okay, I'm gonna bring in this Needle. I probably want to keep my Relic in too. They have Cat in their deck. I want Shadowspear. I want the Needle. Maybe I'll cut a Nettlecyst. Obviously not a lot of sideboarding, but it's fine. This matchup seems really good, actually. Let's talk Cityscape Leveler some more. Yeah, I hope we get to get at some point. I think the card's crazy. You don't get up to 8 mana that often, though. But I do think it's a new card. Also, you just want to have the new cards on the sideboard, trying them out. Lucy, come here. Okay. Is 4 Haywire Mite main stock? Well, this is a brew, so there's nothing stock. It's only stock, or we're only playing it in this deck because it goes so good with the liquid metal effects. And so what's cool is you get off Saga, you can get off Ancient Stirrings, and with liquid metal, with your liquid metals, you get to blow up, non-land permanent, non-creature permanents with it. And like just having incidental disenchants is really good on the liquid metal plan. When do you do the leveler in? When you have 8 mana and you want to blow up a non-land permanent. What was the other list I had shown? We can take a look. Oh, this is just like an old brew that there's 4 cards I'm missing. They would be Diabolic Intents, but I would also like I think I would change the list some more to fit Intent in the deck. Yeah, that is an incomplete deck really. Is it Meteorite Golem better? No. I know Meteorite Golem is 1 less mana, but this card is a cast trigger. It also has Unearth. It's an 8/8 trample instead of a 3/3. It's cast or attack as well, which is much better than Golem. It is 1 more mana. Is there no room to play Bolt to the deck? You don't need Bolt. You're playing like one thing is I use the name Bolt to you, but I know a lot of Magic players are still like, this is a red deck, let's play Lightning Bolt. But like the reality is like Lightning Bolt is not amazing against most decks in Modern. It's fine, main deckable, but this is a deck that is playing tons and tons of interaction with the coding disenchant plan. And it is also the case that you really can't afford to hold on. It's also the case that you really can't afford to dilute your plan with like just regular fair cards. It's a very high synergy deck. It's just so clunky. You're talking about the Meteor Golem? Well, this is also a thing about Karn targets too. People will very often call Karn targets clunky, which in my mind like just doesn't usually make that much sense to me. I think we'll play the coding this turn. It usually doesn't make, because I can Karn to turn off the cookbook plan. It usually doesn't make that much sense to me to call Karn targets clunky, because if the card is not good, you just don't get it with Karn. You know what I mean? You get something else. And having one big late game powerful card that just ends the game, I think makes sense to me. And like Leveler, I think does this like much better than like basically any other option. Leveler is really crazy. Ooh. Okay, so I guess this is fine. I'm probably just gonna go Wrenn and Six plus get back Saga this turn. Drawing Saga? I don't think changes that. I survived the Asmo attack, and the next turn I can go like, I guess I can't block with Haywire Mite because they're just gonna Asmo it. Oh, the Saga's exiled. Huh, maybe I wasn't supposed to play the Wrenn. This is fine though. It's fine. Okay, discard's Familiar, so they can kill the Wrenn. Very good play. Boseiju plus with Karn rebuy with Wrenn. Yeah. That's definitely part of the deck. Possess Portal's pretty clean with Karn and Wrenn around. That's true. I mean, honestly I haven't played much with Possess Portal. That's maybe better, but this is also like, you know, important to note, like to some extent I'm just wanting to play with the new cards, you know what I mean? I like new cards. I want to cast them and evaluate them and learn how they play. The thing about Forging the Anchor. I don't know what that card is. It's a new card. We can take a look. Is Possess Portal even good? 8 mana. If a player would draw a card, the player skips that draw instead. At the beginning of each instead, the player's second permanent unless they discard a card. Yeah, I don't know. It's a win more card for sure, but maybe to some extent Cityscape Leveler is. Leveler probably catches you up a bit better. There are definitely some players that just swear by Possess Portal, and for me, it's never been a card I've liked that much. What happened with the upheaval deck? I mean, it was just like always like, you know, I don't know exactly how to label these decks, but we've had a few like this lately that are more, you know, you can win games with them, but they're definitely not like me trying to push, you know, a new playable deck into the format or try to like, you know, find a really sick new brew. It's like more so for fun. And I don't usually have fun with those kind of decks for a long time. I think they're fun like once or twice. And then, you know, you're losing enough that I just want to move on. Oh, second Trail of Crumbs is really good. Is that what they revealed, actually? I didn't check. They revealed another cookbook. Utopia Sprawl! Oh, yeah, Forge in the Inker is an interesting card. I've definitely, like, looked at it. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Hey, what happens? Okay, so I always forget. If I coding my Karn and I turn my Karn into a creature, can they attack the Karn still? Oh, kill Asmo with Karn. I guess that line's way better. No, this is non-creature. Non-creature. They cannot attack Karn? Okay. I feel like I've played... I don't know. I've had this line like loosely on my radar for a long time, and I basically never remember. Let's do it. This is a very weird trick. Oh, no, they can Asmo the Karn. I was thinking that the Karn was turning the foods off. But they can just Asmo it. Yeah, this is a punt. This is a big punt. Okay, we're learning. Yeah, I saw some person did this to me, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Second little Michael felt to turn off the Asmo. They would have been able to do it in the upkeep, though, is the problem. I think I'm just going to go to game 3 with them killing the Saga here. Karn is still Planeswalker, so opponent can attack even a fossil artifact. People were saying no. I think that you can't. But I'm not sure. It's very odd interaction. Yeah, Karn can only plus on non-creatures, so we couldn't have targeted the Asmo with Karn's +1. Yeah, any judges in the chat? Nerds, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Yeah, definitely a spicy deck. You can absolutely attack a Planeswalker that's a creature. Okay, I was under the impression that you couldn't. So the Karn is not a Planeswalker anymore. If there are judges in chat, they left after the last discussion. Sorry, judges. Very, very, very weird rules interaction. Yeah, but then can the Karn just block for itself? It's all very odd. Karn is being made into a creature with Liquimetal Coating, or you could Torque would work too. Target itself. Karn pluses on itself. It can, but it takes combat damage. So if you block, does it lose loyalty counters? It takes combat damage, still loses loyalty, but cannot be attacked. Okay, very cool. Alright, so I really want to find a Liquimetal Coating off the Stirring so I can kill their only land. Very brave of them to keep a one-lander against this deck. I don't. I only find an Urza Saga, though. We can ping the Mite. Ping the Mite. And I don't have enough mana to Stirrings into another Coating. Remember, Torque doesn't work. So I think I'll just go Torque, Mite. Well, I guess I get Stirrings first, but I can go Torque, Mite, Sack Mite for the kill the food. And there's a Coating, so we'll plan to use that next turn because I'm 1 mana short. Ultra Mecha Deck Tech, as Obru made a while back. Yeah, if you post a link in chat, I'd be happy to take a look. Can't copy paste from the notification view. Pioneer Boggles. Okay, this is actually something I've had some conversations with friends about over the weekend, so I can maybe give a little bit of insight. Let me just write this real quick. So my general impression is that Light Pawls is absurdly good. Light Pawls is absurdly good. And I'm also under the impression you don't really want to play 3 mana threats in this deck. I think that Siona is definitely a really powerful card, but it's also 3 mana in a format that's also very good at killing 3 mana 2/2s. Ooh, Dead Wrenn, Dead Arbor Elf. We're definitely living in a format that's good at killing 3 mana 2/2s. So my general impression of this list is that I would really like to cut your Sionas and just play the full 4 copies of Light Pawls. Beyond that, I think that the rest of your formula is good. The formula being 16 threats plus enchantments. I'm not sure that blue is a splash that is worth it, where your mana is. Well, I wouldn't play Banishing Light either. Where blue makes your mana like a decent degree worse, and is the green curiosity is not Pioneer legal, right? There is a green curiosity effect. I don't believe it's Pioneer legal though. Do I think Paradise Druid is better than the double green? So Paradise Druid is very interesting. Paradise Druid is really good with Light Paws because there's an enchantment that gives vigilance, Sentinel's Eyes. But I think for the most part you just want to play like I think Vanguard is probably better. Most of the removal in Pioneer is damage based, not exile based. Vanguard is a very strong card. You have Lifelink in the deck to like always pay the life if you play Staggering Insight. Which I do think this, so, it's like many questions in Magic. It's a conversation of power level versus consistency. Does the blue splash increase the power level enough while also like not reducing the consistency enough? You know what I mean? That's always the axis you have to base these decisions on. I think it's very unlikely that you want to play 4 basics. I think it's very likely that you want to play like 1 basic land and potentially some pain lands, fast lands. Now that you have access to like a Darkar Waste in the format, like a Darkar Waste would be, I think, very sick here. Maybe even play 0 basics. Maybe 1 for like Field of Ruin. It's kind of close. Did you need something, Esther? Okay. So that's a thought I have. Let me just win this game real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Definitely seems like a very good matchup. Yeah, so definitely 4 Light Pawls over the Siona. I think this is a good creature split. Okay, I like this hand well enough to keep. It's a bit slow on the draw. I really... Oh, sorry, I thought this was Back to Nature. I thought you were playing Back to Nature in your enchantment deck. I don't know what this is for. I think people like just like build sideboards like this sometimes. Just a couple of disenchants in the board. I don't know what this is supposed to be in for Pioneer. It's not like that good against Greasewing because it doesn't exile. I think 4th Leyline of Sanctity would be really nice. I don't like Reviving Melody. I would cut that for that. I'd be maybe interested in playing like 2 Pithing Needles to Pithing Needle Karn, the Great Creator. I think that would be good. Paladin, 10 months, thank you. Fight Aura, the 3 mana Fight Aura, the cartouche. Is that it? Up against Jund Saga, it looks like. Yeah, the new Rancor, Audacity, that's a card I'd pretty likely be playing. Maybe 4 of even. Although you're not going to get the Death Trigger that often, so maybe it's not as good. Maybe 1 as a tutor target for Light Paws. Karn is pretty slow here, but it's also true that it is very good with my coating, and I can just go 2, 3, 4 now. Yeah, I think maybe just 1 Audacity as a Light Pulse target when you need Trample. There's also like the 1 mana like flying card. It's tough, but yeah, I definitely want to go more in on like the 1 of light paw targets with 4 light paws. That's the main thing, I guess. Nature does work against Greasefang, and not the best answer does exile. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Classic unplayable Tarmogoyf gonna get us. Diversify auras and then more into light pulse. Yeah, exactly. And so like the main things you're looking for are like the 1 mana give +1/+0 flying, return from the yard, and audacity. Those are like the 2 main ones I think you need for like the light pull diversity. And like and then you also just look at every single legal aura and see if there's anything you think is cool and do some playtesting with them. Interesting draw. Yeah, Sentinelize is interesting too. Yeah, I mean, Theros is definitely the enchantment set. Maybe we'll get another enchantment set at some point. So we can make this a 4/4 kind of sneakily. So if they make a 3/3 Saga here and attack, and we can try to trade, we can block, and then make something an artifact. Griffspoon, thank you. Yeah. I really did want to see them make the Saga token here, so I'm happy about this. Less happy about Haywire Mite. They have an untapped green source though. They don't. Huge. Damn it. Man, this is even an artifact. All right, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So if I draw Ancient Grudge, shock down to 3, Coating, grudge this, go to 1 if they have nothing, and I guess that's an out. Okay, no grudge. That's okay. I think that this is probably just a resubmit matchup too, and probably not a matchup that's that bad, honestly. How was Atlanta? Atlanta was a lot of fun. I definitely had a lot of fun. Happy to be home. Tournaments didn't go super well, but that's okay. Happy to be playing Modern again, to be honest. Yeah, 4 Mite is stock after all. You played the Fires? No, I played Delver. So like Doomwake was like I broke it with Fires, and I was doing some playtesting. And the thing about Fires is like literally the easiest deck to think you've like broken it with a new variant. Where Fires is so insane when you curve out well and you win die rolls and you draw Fires. It's insane. It's just like you just can't lose. But it's also a deck that mulligans pretty poorly, and it's a deck that stumbles on the draw, stumbles on the play, can have lower card quality overall, especially when you don't draw Fires. And I ended up not playing it. Yeah, the title is clickbait today. We're experimenting with pure clickbait titles. Do you side out Cauldron if you're playing Stoneforge Mystic against a Haywire Mite deck? It probably depends. It's gonna have to be a little bit deeper, like what Stoneforge Mystic deck you're playing and what Haywire Mite deck you're playing. But it is certainly something to think about. I saw Lotus Field Combo as the best performance, and I tested the deck at all. Seems up my alley. So this is actually really interesting. I remember like back when I was first doing this is back closer to the Winota era, I guess. But I remember like saying that I felt like Lotus Field was going to be great at this Pro Tour, and everybody's like, ha ha ha, Lotus Field sucks. Player Stir, whatever, RC. And here's the thing though. Here's the problem with Lotus Field. Lotus Field I think is great against everything besides mono green. I even thought that it wasn't that bad against mono green, and obviously it still can win. But for a little while I was under the impression it wasn't actually that bad against mono green because because they only have 4 Karns, and if they don't have Karn, you're really good against them. But the problem with that evaluation was that was old. That was before like I played the matchup much with Storm of the Festival, and Storm of the Festival lets you find Karn really consistently. Also Oath of Nissa too, but like it just gives you like very consistent fast Karns with a Damping Spear, and so but you know. Karn mono green is also like only like 20% of the field, and I mean it's a lot, but discard spell. Oh damn it! It's a lot, but it's not the whole field, and you'll still win your matchup sometimes. And I didn't do much testing with it. I wish that I had done more, but I'm also not like particularly surprised that it did well. Oh man, I meant to pop the relic. The misclicks today have been frequent and often, but I'm also, you know, getting back on the swing of things. I guess I could probably, yeah, probably just put Kahira in hand. Well, I don't know. I kind of also like blanking the discard spells, but could have thought a bit more about it too. Here, I think in response to the Saga getting the counter, I'll just Boseiju it. This field can still just die to any turn 4 aggro curve. Well, that's the thing too. Is like people say that a lot, but honestly, if you have a Boreal Grazer, you're really good against the turn 4 aggro. If like Grazer is like quietly the best card in Lotus Field, where like the card almost like Eternal and Grazer almost single-handedly wins against mono white. You know what I mean? Was it surprise Spirits did well? No, Spirits has always been like pretty good sleeper. Okay. Missed my flight to Denver Airport. Brutal. Good luck. Many people are asking for unbans in Pioneer because it's boring. Well, I personally no longer have opinions on how you should change Pioneer. I have stopped having opinions on how you should change Pioneer because it just doesn't feel like there's... I don't have a real vision for the format anymore, I think, and... It just also doesn't seem like there's any like one thing you can do to fix it. Not that you know, some people also some people, you know, are of the opinion it doesn't need fixing, which is valid. I think that's an okay take to have. Oh no, sorry. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know what's going on. I've been punting all day today. I'm just thinking my opponent's tapped out. I want to be grudging now, but obviously they just get to tap the Mite. They probably should target my Sprawl. Probably should, maybe the Torque. Yeah, target the Sprawl. I've been punting all day today. I'm sorry. Just ban Karn? Yeah, maybe. So like what? So it's also like there's a lot of people want them to ban Karn or Nykthos, and a lot of people want them to ban Karn or Nykthos, and I don't think that that's crazy. But like the thing about banning Karn or Nykthos is a lot of like I think that's a fine take to have, but there's a lot of like ban philosophy that comes along with it that's like gets a little bit weird, where if you want to ban Karn, like you're not banning the broken card. You know what I mean? Like Nykthos like is the broken card. It's a land that is tapping for tons and tons of mana and being untapped very early in the game and like doing incredibly powerful things that can be disrupted. But Nykthos like is the broken card. But like what's interesting about banning Karn instead is if you ban Nykthos, you also kind of ban Karn, where Karn the Great Creator will just like not see very much play if Nykthos is banned. Like Karn is good because of Nykthos. And so if you ban Karn, the mono green deck takes a huge hit. It plays a much fairer game plan. And the deck still gets to exist. So there's a lot of weirdness that comes with like this kind of ban philosophy, because for the most part I think you should just edge towards banning the busted card. But I do think that there is a conversation to be had about banning Karn instead. Pioneer has no catch-up cards. Once you start losing, it's impossible to come back. I think that is not a unreasonable take. Mono Green Devotion can turn into a big ramp deck instead of a combo deck. Yes, it will turn into a big ramp deck instead of a combo deck. Then all of a sudden, like Lotus Field becomes insane if that's the case. Lotus Field becomes insane. And also, but like one also cool thing about banning Karn is that cards like Aether Gust, and Noxious Grasp and anti-green cards become a lot better against the deck too. Okay, so they're flashbacking their Grudge. I'm flashbacking my Grudge. Haircut looking clean today. I just got like a good night's sleep. that's about it. For the first time in a while. They need to stop trying to ban stuff around. Yeah, again, I don't really have an opinion on what they should do. I just like, this is just a conversation about if you do have an opinion like that, this is like, you know, the issue. Horrible Brew, I tried with Delve creatures cheating out Emerge creatures. I tried, if it's modern, I was trying like trying to Neoform out Gristlebrand with like the Delve creatures, Murktide and Angler. And it never really felt like I was doing enough. So I think I'm gonna Boseiju the Channeler. End of turn. Can you use or pull at Wizards to get Snapcaster and Pioneer? I literally don't know like what kind of pull you think I have that I can snap my fingers and demand Snapcaster be printed in Pioneer. But also, if Snapcaster was in Pioneer, it would be mid. Another, like, I don't know, so the thing too about like the whole Pioneer ban list conversation is that people just have like very different ban list philosophies. Some people do not want any card to be banned ever with like a deck not having a really high win percentage. That's a very reasonable take to have. Some people want bans to happen based on gameplay. If gameplay is bad, they are interested in the ban happening. I think that's also really reasonable too, where Magic should probably be fun to exist. Magic needs to be fun, and I will say the gameplay with and against mono green is pretty miserable a lot of the time. Mono green shows up on coverage, and like half the Twitch chat is angry about it. Streamers can't play mono green because nobody wants to watch mono green. Streamers can't play against mono green because nobody wants to watch people play against mono green. It makes the format, you know, less enjoyable to a lot of people. I'll say this: green has a 49% win rate and 22 of the meta. It also took 21 of Pro Tour invites to spot making top 8. That is insane. Yeah. It's also like mono green has a 49% win rate with like it also having a huge target, where a huge, oh, that was a good draw. A big chunk of the field were people playing decks that they felt like had a really good green matchup, and that is also true about Pioneer though. Is you can have a really good green matchup. It is very reasonable, not really that complicated for you to just have a deck that is good against green or good enough against green. Okay, my opponent keeps forgetting Giganta, which is nice. So let's cast the Karn and see if they activate the Mite in response. They don't activate Mite in response. They have no cards in their hand. It's a tough call. Yeah, we could go Needle Saga this turn. The problem is I have 4 Urza Saga still in my deck. I think I just get explosives, cast explosives on 0, and then this is going to be like good against Needle. Bridge is okay too. I think I like EE on 0 this turn. Again, I also like in games against Jund, you gain like an amount of percentage points if you can play in a way that any top deck removal is just dead. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just going to like never ever be in a spot where I have a spell in my hand for them to discard, like that's something that you need to put some stock on. It's not like it's not the most important thing, but it is like important enough, I think. Good coating and upkeep. This is the wrong coating. This is Liquimetal Torque, not Liquimetal Coating, unfortunately. Okay, so I can Haywire Mite, kill Saga, stop them from getting like a needle for my Karn or something. Can also just put Wurmcoil into play, then they can needle my explosives, but then I can Haywire Mite the needle. So I think because of that, I'm just gonna put a Wurmcoil into play. Yeah, you could grab Coating off of Karn. That was an option. Although now I've unlocked a discard spell. But again, if they go needle for explosives, then the Mite is pretty good against that. They can use Mite now. That's true. They can Mite the explosives. They might do that. The needle won't stick along wrong. Let's be real. Maybe you're right. They also may not see the line. I don't know. Though they cannot Mite Wurmcoil. Mite is only non-creature artifacts. Thoughts on this take? I'll probably just not click on Twitter and start reacting to takes on Twitter. We've done enough of that today. Even just like me like not forming an opinion on something because like there wasn't like enough data, I thought was like we had to go in emote only mode. Yeah, chat, I feel like I would just like a little bit more data before I form an opinion. Spike! Say they're cheating. XYZ, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. I need reaction content. Just gonna main phase this. If you do it really confidently, players don't react either. Okay. Oh, also what's good about this line is the constructs become 3/3, so they can double block to trade for the Wurmcoil, but that's fine, of course, because Wurmcoil has more text. Maybe I shouldn't have played my land first. Doesn't matter that much. Is we're just from exile? Sacrifice, okay. The other 3 modes are exile. What's funny is I Giganta'd, and my opponent forgot that they also have Giganta. The biggest weakness of Giganta is forgetting that you have it. Forgetting that it's in your deck. Ooh, Research Desk. I've been like absolutely loving Research Desk lately. It's fine, Avian. Ordinarily, I might click on it. Just earlier today, we had a bit too much reaction, not enough magic. Yeah, 1 day of React content a day. Man, we've definitely made a pretty good comeback here, huh? You ever equip a Nettlecyst to a Wurmcoil Engine? Me neither. Me neither. I've equipped Batterskull to Wurmcoil. That sounds like something you'd do. Aha, 2 months, thank you. Go back. $15 for hot takes. Yeah, hot takes are $25. And then like lukewarm, cold Reddit takes are free, but not here on that website. Why equip now instead of 3 creatures? I'm equipping now to present lethal, and if they kill in response, then I have the creature still. We 3-2 the last league. We started off 3-0, and then we lost to Burn twice in a row, which I feel like in a deck that's playing 4 Haywire Mite, 4 Saga, and Shadowspear. I didn't think we'd be... We also lost to Burn last time we played the deck, so I thought the matchup would be fine. I think maybe I've misevaluated it. One hot take, please. Rock Lee should have had Mite Guy's character arc in Naruto Shippuden. He should have been the one to... Spoilers for Naruto Shippuden. Spoilers for Naruto Shippuden. He should have been the one to surpass all others as the greatest master of taijutsu and be acknowledged by Madara as the greatest taijutsu user of all time. That would have been way more satisfying and a better narrative arc overall. Okay, on the draw, game 3 against Jund Saga. With a hand I think I'm going to keep. Gonna need a green or red land. Aren't there only 7 coatings? In my line of viewers, yes, we're shameless clickbait today. I had 8 this. I had 8 this morning. I cut the 8th one, like after I had the title is like the real answer, but saying shameless clickbait is also fine. Got a cool brew for Pioneer. Okay, I could take a look if you post a linky in the chat. Oh, I met a Magic player this weekend. I can't remember what their name was. I couldn't remember what their name was because when they were introduced to me, instead of saying, "Hi, my name is whatever," they said, "Hey, I like your jutsu," and then they just kept doing hand signs and Shidoris and Rasenguns and Shadow Clone jutsus for like 2 minutes, like 2 full minutes. Like way longer than you would expect, and their friends are like, okay, stop, and they did not stop. they did not stop, and it was great. It was one of the best interactions I had all weekend. One of the best interactions I had all weekend. Most sane spike viewer, true. Kind of like the idea of Karn plus on Shadowspear or something. Maybe that's not good. Maybe we could just sack the research desk. It's probably okay. Have a lot of good hits. No. I mean, we can play this as a land next turn, I guess. So now is it better to unearth this or play coding? I think I'm just going to play the coding. Can't channel, though. Did you already tell the Hitachi story? I did tell the Hitachi story. I gave a longer version towards the beginning of the stream that you can go back and watch, but the general summary is there was like a young college kid who was on shrooms and like wandered into our restaurant and just ran into one of our Ubers and wouldn't get out of the Uber, and then got out of the Uber after a couple of minutes and ran down the street, and they're just ran into a stranger's car and tried to like slid his way into the front seat and stepped on the gas. But the cup, they thought fast. They took the keys out, threw the keys out, and then Hitachi was really good at keeping the guy calm and subdued a bit while we got an ambulance there to take care of him. Yeah, more Hitachi does more than just play Esper Stoneblade, huh? It was quite the night. Most peaceful night in Atlanta. Yeah, this deck's got a pretty good Heart and Scales matchup, huh? So then kill my Saga. I'm gonna play this for turn. Can get explosives. I can get Ensnaring Bridge. Can also just draw Ancient Grudge, which is just got to be the line. Am I supposed to kill a land and a token, or just both tokens? My opponent missed a land drop, but killing both tokens is kind of like killing a land because they have the Springleaf Drum. Or 2 lands. I can only kill 1 land because I only have 1 coding and play this one's a Torque. Remember, this one can't target lands, but it does tap for mana, so it's not just a strictly better coding. Sorry to pop up after the I'm still doing them. I am still doing them, Philip. Sorry. I don't know if I saw it in the chat, but I can. Good. No, thank you. Just yell at me. We've had a lot today. Bant Soldiers, Pioneer. I love this card. I love Recruitment Officer. I feel like it's kind of surprising me you're only playing 2 Sky Strike Officers. I think this card's really good. It's like one of the main soldier payoffs. I'd probably play 4th Recruitment Officer over 1st Kythian. That could be wrong, but could be wrong. But I really like Recruitment Officer. I don't like Kythian as much. Okay, so we'll play Karn. Karn turning off the treasure token is nice, and the Haywire Mite everything. And I think I'm just gonna kill a land. Imagine just Blood Crypt. Like the 2/1 flash royalty, pick up a creature, become a 3/2. Yeah, I think that card's fine. I'd probably play 4th Brutal Cathar over 1st Deputy. I'd probably play 4 Officer over like 2 of these Buglers. And you could maybe even cut. You could maybe play the 4th Resolute Reinforcements over Bugler number 1 if you want. But Bugler's okay. Bugler's fine. I would play probably 1 basic land for like Field of Ruin type stuff. You might not have to, but I know that I usually am pretty happy having like at least 1 basic land in my Pioneer deck. So a basic Plains would likely be pretty fine over like a breeding pool. Your sideboard actually looks sick. Your sideboard actually looks really good. I would be like relatively happy with your current sideboard, and then like maybe evaluate a bit and change some stuff after like the meta shapes up post Bro RC. Okay, probably losing this one. I liked having instant value off Coco. I don't know. I mean, you get value off the other card, but like when you Coco, you're already getting value. You know what I mean? Like Cocoing into like the cantrip or the card selection card is, I don't think, as important as maybe you're evaluating it as. But also very classic. You know, if you disagree with my take, that's fine. But I really like that flyer card. I think that card's good. Okay, so we do have a research desk. We're drawing a little bit slim here, though. Yeah. Bummer. Okay, let's keep this on the draw on the blind against a Multi 6. Maybe with no acceleration on the draw, you could send this back. I think I'm gonna try it though. Oh, not the 3-drop fire. Yeah, that's your one. Have I made a Hive account? I registered. I registered Aspiring Spike so nobody would take it if that ends up becoming a thing. We'll just see what happens. It's on a Multi 5. But I did make sure to claim Aspiring Spike as a username on Hive. Bloodstained Mire. What is Hive? It's like a Twitter alternative because Twitter's, who's to say even? From what I can tell, it's kind of like a complete knockoff though. Like it looks almost exactly the same, and so I'm not a lawyer, but if I was Twitter and if I was like a crazy billionaire egomaniac CEO of Twitter, I would maybe like sue Hive for being like a blatant knockoff. So I don't know that it's going to be a something that sticks around. I think it's like it feels like a very self-defeating site because it's such a blatant knockoff. That being said, a lot of Magic players are like making accounts over there, so we'll see if it stays. Main deck Rolling Vortex. Wowee. We have main deck Haywire Mites though. Okay, so I wanted to do it this way so that I could definitely cast my Sprawl this turn. And I think I'm just going to take the Coating with Double Grudge in my hand. I think that makes the most sense pretty clearly. Hive has been around for years. Yeah, I mean, but it's the thing. It's like little knockoffs like that have like, you know, no traction. Presumably, they're just not gonna like. No, like nobody's gonna take them down if they don't have like a big following. Probably, I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. I actually have no opinions or takes on anything. Is my is just the truth. The truth social. Okay, very interesting burn list with main deck Rolling Vortex. Yeah, back to your regularly scheduled spike action, huh? Anyone who makes a living off followers will stay with Twitter. Yeah, does anybody make a living on Twitter? This was a take that I had seen a lot, was that people who make a living on Twitter are going to stay on Twitter. But I can't think of a single person that is like a Twitter influencer or whatever, or, you know, someone that is popular on Twitter and doesn't also have like a big following somewhere else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess that's fair, Walrus. Although there's other places too. Drill. I don't know who Drill is. Yeah, there's surely some, I'm sure. Oh, that's true. Artist. Yeah, definitely artist. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I was just wondering because I was a bit confused by that point, I guess. But that makes sense. Yes, it's like, because I'm posting for free. That's a good point, Gogo. And honestly, like, TikTok is maybe like a better platform to like advertise your stuff. Although like diversifying is good and stuff. Mark says a lot of cards still screen Twitter. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, Haywire Mites. Get back Saga equip. If they top decked exactly Skullcrack, they didn't. They would have cast this Boros Charm already. But if they drew exactly Skullcrack, good beats, it'd be somewhat par for the course in how my matchup against Burn has been going. I feel like we can't beat a Boros Charm anyway, so there's no thinking there. Main deck Palm, yeah. If they're main decking Rolling Vortex, anything's possible. Oh, baby. Okay. Yeah, maybe I just need to be mulliganing to more Saga hands against Burn. We'll see. This is our 5th time playing the matchup. Burn, I guess, is very popular on Moto at the moment. So trying to figure out the ins, the outs, and the what have yous. Do you ever sideboard? Yeah. So the main thing you want to do is, like, a lot of times there will be matchups where you want to cut. Oh, sorry. Against Burn, we do sideboard. Sorry, we want to cut we want to bring in the 4th one of these for the Relic. Oh, not the Power Conduit. Not the Power Conduit. The Coating. You're gonna make some small changes. You're gonna make some very small changes. Okay, it looks like we have a Power Conduit in the deck. But you want to cut in this matchup. You mostly just want to cut the Relic. You mostly just want to cut the Relic because it's not that good. And sometimes you want to cut the Shadowspear, and sometimes you'll have like 1 or 2 artifacts to bring in. But it's very, very light on the sideboarding. Daniel, 9 months. Thank you. I didn't end up doing very well at DreamHack, but I did end up having a good time. I mean, this is a hand with Haywire Mite and Saga, so I think that I'm going to keep with, you know, my impression at the end of like last game is like keep more hands with Saga. Ox at 6 months. Thank you. I'm really also not sure how aggressively I'm supposed to chump block with Haywire Mite. I think like keeping the Mite in play so the Saga token is a bit bigger is like somewhat relevant. Not getting Skull Cracked is relevant too with the Mite. We'll see. If they like Lava Spike me for prowess, maybe I'll block. Yeah, they just show us main deck Rolling Vortex. Backup Saga's not too bad. I haven't played too many Ancient Stirring Saga decks. It's basically just this one and the 8-key combo deck. But I've definitely very much liked having these two cards together. So I think my opponent is going to not Boros Charm in combat for the Prowess trigger. That would maybe imply that they have a Skullcrack in their hand. So maybe it's a good turn to chump block. Okay, definitely with Lava Spike. Definitely going to block now. Okay. Feel okay about that. 3 cards in their hand. I'm at 13. I've got a Shadowspear in play already. Okay. Aki is so fun. I'm 15 and 5 at FNM. Everyone hates me. Yeah, a lot of people have said very similar things. I love it. Everyone at my FNM hates me, which is a pretty good review. A glowing review. So my opponent has 2 instant speed burn spells here, and I don't block with the construct, I die. There's an old border expressive iteration on Magic Online and paper. Yeah, I've seen it. Okay, now I have to chump block. Although if they just have 3/1 damage burn spells, you know, we can just be at peace. Yep, 3 1 damage burn spells, 3 cards in hand, 3 lands, I'm dead. Game 3 on the play. I have to mulligan. Probably have to keep. But it's on the Multi 6 as well. Yeah, the old border expressive iteration, that's in paper too, right? I don't know where. Oh, Multi 5, wow. Is it not worth trying to put the Trinisphere in the main post board? I don't think so. Our curve is really low too. Like our curve is like, you know, we have our deck is literally 3 cards, 4 cards, 2 Nettlecyst, and then 33 cards that you don't want to have, you know, that are kind of bad with Trinisphere in play. Sometimes you can Karn for Trinisphere, but I don't think you want to main deck it. Stupid commander decks. When will commander players learn? When will they learn? Probably never. Love Utopia Sprawl Nettlecyst. This is like a fun little interaction. Hoping to find a Saga or a Karn off these stirrings. We have 2. Hoping they don't have Eidolon either. Yeah, I usually think multicolor cards and old border don't look... I don't like the gold old border. I think it looks... I don't know. Let's take a look. It doesn't look so bad. But for most multicolor cards, I'm usually not a very big fan. Okay, this is not so bad either. Don't want to play my land because I could get a Saga. Coating, Mishra's Research Desk. Coating's an important card to have. I guess we'll get the Coating. Could find it. This makes Haywire Mite a better top deck too. Karn, Nettlecyst, Saga. Alright, let's just take the Nettlecyst, and then next turn we can like equip Nettlecyst, equip Shadowspear. Also, this is a 4/4 now, which is pretty good against burn. I think I have pack foil iterations right now. I don't think they're the promo ones. I haven't cast an iteration in paper in a long time, honestly. Y'all want to play around Deflecting Palm? It's too late, I guess. Too late. Too late to not get Deflecting Palmed. They skull cracked before attacks. I mean, I win the game if I connect. This so not attacking here is worse against them having like all 2 mana spells and another Skullcrack. It's a lot better against Boros Charm though. Worse against Rolling Vortex. Dang it. So okay, I can make this a 13-13 with the coding. No, bigger than that. 15-15. Oh, I can also I can Boseiju the Rolling Vortex in response to the fetch too. But also, do I want to do that? Because they're just dead, right? They're just dead if they go crack fetch. If they don't block, they can block. Because I'm coding my own land, they crack fetch, and then they pay 1, and then they're at 15, they're at 16, and then they take 1 to the Rolling Vortex. So what I'm gonna do is if they do this, if they activate after blocks are declared, and they like mess up, then I'll Boseiju this, or then I won't Boseiju this, but now I just do this. They might just like click through blockers and then activate is the thing. So I think you're supposed to attack first here. Okay, we have coding my... Fine hand. So yeah, we 3-2'd our first league. We 2-1 this one. We also 3-2'd with... We had actually like the same or very similar league with the mono green one too. The red splashes felt good. The Ancient Grudge and Wrenn are I think worth it. Flooded Strand. Pass. Love this draw. You have a favorite card to cast in Modern right now? I mean, like, usually when a new set comes out, it's just like new cards. Third Path Iconoclast has definitely been like very, very fun to cast. Could I provide a 1-page on the split between Coding and Torque, so no one has asked? I mean, Coding is better because you get to kill lands, and then with Ancient Stirrings, you don't need to max out, is like the short answer, I guess. Because I don't want to do the full dissertation, to be honest. Okay, so this turn we'll just go Wrenn and Six, pick up a land. The next turn we can go Coding plus Mite activation, kill a land. They have Binding, they'll Binding the Wrenn, which is fine. You can also Haywire Mite the Binding if we want to. Or we can just Haywire Mite a land and then get another Mite off the Saga. My LCQs didn't go very well, sadly, but I had a good turn or a good time anyways. It's hard not to have a good time while your friends are there, you know. I feel like they're playing Domain Zoo. Could be it's like Scape Shifter Bring Flight though. Could be Rhinos. Could be Rhinos. Dang it. So do I have to like Karn get explosives? I don't think I'd have to. I think they're pretty likely to kill the Wrenn next turn. I think they're pretty likely to kill the Wrenn next turn. My life total's not that low. I have the Saga token plus Shadowspear coming. I can take 10, then block here, take 8 potentially, or you know, take 4 because they're gonna kill the Wrenn. Although this was a bit worse without the Karn for Explosives line. 1 mana shard of Karn for Explosives now. I think I'm alive, right? Because I go make a token. Coding, make a landed artifact, block a Rhino, take 12, 16. Oh, but I have to play this too. So I have to chump block with Arbor Elf. And then I don't think I can win if I have to chump with Arbor Elf because I need to Karn for bridge. Block here, 12, 16, yeah. I guess I could maybe draw a... No, I don't think everything else. Okay, game 2. Game 2, probably not that bad of a matchup. Karn is pretty good against them. I am going to cut this Relic. I think I'm going to bring in the Chalice. Because I'd rather probably Karn for explosives and then just be able to naturally draw this or Ancient Stirrings here. I don't think you don't want to board in Trinisphere, I think, because like look at our deck. Our deck is like all 1 and 2 mana spells. I think it's a fine Karn tutor target. I can also Karn for it, you know. I think you almost never board in Trinisphere, or like I don't know when you would. Okay, on the play. And mulligan. And mulligan. Oh, that's true. We do lose Giganta. I don't think that that's that big a deal, though. Okay, let's put back Nettlecyst, Ancient Grudge, and we have the Chalice. Any more Meld Brews in the work? There's a few different like ways I thought we could build around Titania, and that I will circle back to at some point. Is Mono Black Coffer still alive? Yeah, for sure. We're gonna play at probably a League of it this week. I actually think the Brainstone, Stonebrain, whatever. I think that card is huge for coffers. Where like just I think that it's just like, you know, it's big for any Karn deck, but it's just the exact kind of effect I've wanted in coffers for a while. And then I think the Cityscape Leveler is good too. You could potentially play the Worm. You maybe don't have to play the Worm. Okay, please play Scion, play Scion, play Scion. Perfect. You want to play another Scion? Love that they just have a tap land here as well. Karn is interesting. I feel like, well, it's tough. I want to make another token, but I don't have a Springleaf Drum in the deck. It's a bit awkward here. I might get a Haywire Mite, but I'll probably get the Shadowspear for now. So that's just 5-0 Prisontron, 3 Stonebrain, maybe Coffers goes that route too. I think almost definitely not. But yeah, I think almost definitely not. But you never know. Karn for Chalice. I boarded in the chat. Oh, it got exiled though. Yeah, it got exiled. That's right. I was thinking I couldn't do it because I boarded it in. Yeah, so our mono green version had Yavimaya for that interaction, which was definitely cute, and like never came up, and you know, very likely would never come up. Yeah, opponent's playing Rhinos. Guess I should have equipped here. Hard to imagine it mattering that much though. Ooh. Oh, Saga main phase. Shardless Agent, weird. Could grudge the agent right now. I think it's okay not to. So I could go just main phase, make a Saga token, equip Saga, equip Shadowspear. Easy bridge, they use a Vigor. I mean, their deck plays Leyline Binding, Force of Vigor, Boseiju to War. They have so many answers to bridge. But also, you know, we're on a like low mulligan. I don't have that many resources. I kind of like just main phase, make a token, equip Shadowspear. It's I think you could go either way. You know, blocks the Shardless Agents. The tokens will be, you know, bigger than 4 Force immediately next turn. We're not breeding Force of Vigor anyways. Gotta combat really fast, and they attack with this. I mean, I'm gonna block the... Oh, does this mean Violent Outburst? If it does mean Violent Outburst, I think that's okay, because then we just like have to get explosives. We have to draw land to get explosives anyways. Oh, interesting. Go after the Shadowspear. Okay, that's fine. Not good, but fine. This would also have been good against the Ensnaring Bridge line, obviously. I think I'm gonna get Haywire Mite so I can get a Shadowspear at some point, which is a card I do find important in this matchup. We have Giganta still to put it on, but for right now we are going to explosives on 0. I will untap my land before I... Okay, I'll untap my land before I, cast the explosives. And if my opponent has a Force of Negation, I think we've played the game fine, at least.
Hey, honey, do you remember which one of your friends makes that really good chocolate pie?
Matthew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Matthew, why not?
Oh, right, no Giganta, no Giganta. Dang it. Yeah, you could text him. He's probably planning on doing... I'm sure he's cooking something good.
They said that they're going to bring, like, more dips, I think, and rolls.
So maybe I'm going to block... Maybe I'll block the Charlotte's Agent with Haywire Mite. So I get another Karn activation next turn. That probably makes sense. Oh, they're... Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Matthew was in the chat earlier. I don't know. He's probably not still. He has a day job. He also top 8 at SCG Dallas. I run a Cityscape Leveler once today. We haven't really had a good moment for it. So, very likely going to want to Wrenn and Six back a Saga this turn. Yeah, so I think I should just get Bridge. I can grudge my own Bridge if I need to. Get Chalice. The problem with Chalice is my opponent has a Violent Outburst here. They just respawn, and I'm like almost dead. And they don't have Charlotte's Agent. If only Chalice had Split Second. What's cool about Bridge in this deck is you can just sit behind it, make a million Saga tokens, and just Haywire Mite your own Bridge eventually. Gonna ping him out. Oh, we have Ballista. We got ways to win. I'm not too worried about it. We're just gonna sit in a crew advantage for a little bit is the plan here. Not currently in win the game mode. Got 3 Sagas in the yard and a Wrenn and Six. Just value mode. It's kind of scary. They really have Force of Vigor? Dude, Rhinos is something else. I don't know what to say. Rhinos is something else. Just Violent Outburst with the Force of Vigor. So casually, too. I think we're just dead. I think we're literally just dead. I can grudge the Charlotte's Agent. This is just a 1/1. So double block here, untap, grudge this, take exactly 10. Alright, GG. I had a Yavimaya in the mono green list. I also had a Yavimaya in this deck for a little while. But it's just like, Yavimaya is just not as good as a fetch land, I think. You're a Wrenn and Six deck, you want 8 fetch lands. You want like 11 red sources, you want 3 forests, you want these Boseijus for your coding plan. There's just not room. There's just not room for Yavimaya, I think. Okay, new matchup. Turn 2 card on the play. These games I think have been pretty cool and interesting, even if we've been, even if we lost a game, huh? Okay, that's fine. Dingo, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Playing some more of the new coding deck with Haywire Mite Urza Saga, this time with the red splash, which has definitely felt pretty good. 3-2 the first league, playing for 3-2 again. A 3-2 deck. Prowess? Yeah, Prowess. Alright, Prowess is going to have very few answers to Bridge Game 1. So I think I'm supposed to get Bridge, although coding would also be really good. I might just die to the Sprite Dragon if I get a coding. Prediction live. These back to block. We're not going to be needing to be too aggressive. Need advances in the red Asmo or mono black demonic tutor decks. I will be doing a lot of work tonight on decks. I've been out of town playing Pioneer. I did like the last version of the trash deck we played that was splashing for Mite. Mite is really good. We have a lot of stuff to work on. And I'll be back with more of an answer tomorrow, I suppose. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff to mess with. Okay, opponent finds Bauble, which they can't crack until the Karn is dead. But opponent is probably dead here. What do you think, Stonebrain in the main board of Ponza? Don't main deck Stonebrain, chat. There's maybe like some very few weird exceptions, like Sorceress's mono, like the Prison Tron deck. Just sideboard them. just it's fine. Just sideboard the Necromantia, and get it with Karn sometimes. It's just not a card you wanna main deck. Why would Stonebrain be a sideboard card? Isn't waiting till turn 5 with Karn too slow? If it's too slow, you don't get it with Karn is the thing. Like, you're also not waiting till turn 5 because you're almost never playing Karn the Great Creator in a deck without fast mana. But that's what's awesome about Karn targets. I'm honestly surprised we've had this kind of conversation so much, where people are like, "Wait, isn't Cityscape Leveler too much mana, too slow? Don't get it if you don't have 8 mana." You know what I mean? And don't get the Stonebrain if it's a spot where it's not going to be good. But the fact that you can get it fast against Titan decks, you can make your opponent stumble some, then Stonebrain Living End. It's only ever going to be good because you're not going to grab it when it's bad. You have catch up cards to get when you're bad, and you have win more cards like this to get when you're ahead. And that's what's awesome about Karn, is it lets you play win more cards without having to ever draw them in a spot where they're not good. You haven't had a single spot where you've had enough mana for Leveler. Yeah, that's true. The Leveler might not be worth it, but that being said, like, I do think in theory you want to have a big card like this for Karn, and I think Leveler is really good. And it also might not be the case that you want to play it, but I'm also like, we're still in like playtest a new card mode. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did play the DreamHack LCQs. They were definitely brutal. No, we're talking about Cityscape Leveler. Tom recommends Cityscape as a Karn target Titan. They're obviously an Authorian deck. What are curious thoughts? Well, it's nice that Cityscape answers opposing, lock pieces like Blood Moon and stuff. This card is good. This card is crazy. It is like by far the most value you get for 8 mana, with some sundering exceptions perhaps. But the card I think is very good. Like every single time I've seen the card cast, I've like been super impressed by it. which hasn't been that much, but every time the card is cast, I'm like, it does what? But again, this is also the case, like, you're supposed to have some win more cards in your card board. They're not going to be good all the time, but like you're supposed to have some cards to push the advantage with. And what's great about these kind of cards in your card board is when they're bad, you just don't get them. You know what I mean? And you're also always going to have Karn targets in your card board that you don't get that often either. Yeah, we'll try out Shape Anew at some point. I don't have any like super duper clever ideas with it yet, I guess, but I'll be working on it. Okay, Lava Dart's me. Shadowspear is looking kind of interesting. I haven't made any updates on the Trash for Treasure list, no. But I've been out of town. This is like the last deck I have prepped right now. I've been out of town for like the last 4 days, like nonstop, with like a small rest last night. I just haven't been working. I will be working very hard tonight and catching up, and we'll have new stuff tomorrow. But we did play updated. If you're talking about just updated Trash for Treasure in general, we did do that last week. Why can't Cityscape Leveler? I guess you know what? That is true. It is a flavor fail that it can't kill lands. I will absolutely agree with that. It is also the case that I bet it probably did kill lands at some point, and then they're like, "This is ridiculous. This cannot kill lands." I guess I do have Pioneer decks prepped, but like, you know, with Peace and Love, I cannot play Pioneer today. There's no way. I think we actually just try to kill them in 2 turns. They just can't kill me. Probably better to equip the spear instead, but I'm just not ever dying here. Famous last words, maybe. But I also like being able to beat a Vapor Snag next turn. Spreading Rack. Kind of a... I would rethink the name. Okay, so you're on Spreading Algae plus Urborg. Spreading Algae Urborg is awesome. No, why did I have to say anything? I can never ever lose from this spot. Literally, what did I accomplish by saying something like that? Yeah, I feel like if you're playing Spreading Algae, like you just kind of have to be more built around that. Like potentially like with Rashad and Dockhand, so that way like the problem with Spreading Algae is that like you basically never ever get to trigger it. You're like your opponents are they just don't activate it when you Spreading Algae them, and you want them to activate it. So like maybe what I would suggest is like if you want to build around Spreading Algae, Rashad and Dockhand, so you can tap the land that you algae and then keep going, do that every turn. That sounds kind of cool. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, I want to pop the Relic, so I think I'm just gonna not. Do I pop it now so they can't Lava Dart? I think so. Well, I think if they Lava Dart, that's fine. Yeah, I think that for the most part, I just don't want to see Spreading Algae in the rack. I think that it's a very cool idea. It's something that feels like it's very close, but I think that for Spreading Algae to work, you have to be a little bit more built around this, and you have to be a deck that is like caring a bit more about destroying lands is my initial impression. Modest, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. And so I encourage you to go one of two ways, like more in on the rack, which I don't think is a very good direction to go, or more in on spreading algae. And like for the most part, the best tech I think is Reshot and Dockhand. Fire Ice would be, I think, pretty good with it to just get to reuse it. I don't know if there's any good tutors for 1-mana enchantments, but being a 1-mana enchantment, I imagine that there is likely something we can do with this, you know what I mean? If I somehow could run a 5-3 split instead of 4-4, coating is better because it targets lands. I know Torque taps for mana, but I basically exclusively prefer the coating. 3-2 to get back-to-back 3-2s. Yeah. So yeah, I think as far as I can tell, Dockhand and Fire Ice are the only things that I think pair super well with this. I can't think of any like.